Hi, this is Pastor Eddie Cox. So glad you could join me today. I want to let you know that we have started a study in Galatians. We actually started yesterday. Chase did a great job with it. And one of the things that when you look at Galatians, the whole book, it has a theme in it. And we talked about religion versus relationship. And this whole book's about that. Trying to figure out the difference between what it looks like to live in religion and what it looks like to live in relationship. And that's exactly what Jesus brought to the table. So Apostle Paul is writing Galatians because nobody can figure this out, because they're so used to the rules and religion and all the rituals that have to happen. And so this actually affects the way we talk to God and live and all those things. One of the things that Chase said that it's really a big deal, and I didn't know how much a big deal it was, is the Sunday best thought. That is the big deal, because we had to deal with that. And I don't know where you are, where you're watching this, but we're in South Carolina. And so when we started Marathon Church a long time ago, we won't go there, we did a survey and we asked the question, why don't you go to church? And you would not believe the number one reason people didn't go to church was because of clothing issues, which I thought was amazing. But this is the South. We learn religion, we're shown religion, and we relate to God through religion rather than relationship. And this is what Galatians, the whole book, is about to help us get there. So we decided to change dress codes and all that stuff, and people started showing up, and we started having to teach in the Bible Belt what it looked like to have a relationship with Jesus Christ and not just having to do rules. Because I think we have this thought, if I don't behave, I don't do the right thing, God doesn't love me. And I'll give you an insight to Galatians. God loves you no matter what you do or who you are. Straight up. That's just the way He is. That's how He rolls. So that's how it works. So we're looking at this, but it affects us on how we do stuff. And in Galatians 1:6-7, you should read that. Paul said he was astonished, basically amazed. Chase talked about this, how people could actually think that I can only relate to God through rules and rituals. And so he came in to change all that, and this is why Galatians was written. So you have to think, how do I approach God? Do I approach God through when it comes to rules and relationship? Rules rather than relationship. How do I approach Him? How do I think about Him? Is He a loving Father, or is He a dictator? That's kind of how this thing shapes up as we get into this. So some things you need to know in going forward with this is understanding how that I'm going to choose what Jesus Christ does, and this is what this is all about. And things happen through that. The Bible talks about walking in the Spirit, talking about being in present day, present mode, present moment with God all the way through this. And we're going to learn all about that, and Chase talked about that. Falling in love with Jesus is one of his points. Not only just falling in love and having a relationship, but doing the things He does. And it's not about the rules. It's not about the have-to. It's because of love and relationship. And those things change everything. And that's what you have to realize. So the choice is falling in love with Jesus and choosing God in every moment and everything you do. And Galatians tells us how to do that. And that's what the big deal is about this book. It shows us what it is and what it isn't. It helps us walk and in love with one another and with God. That is the big deal when it comes to looking at Galatians, religion versus relationship. This is going to be fun. Y'all stick with us. This is going to be fun. See you next week.